Hello, Viewer Super GT here. Now we've finally got some new hoppers in Forza 7. Now this one, the GT Endurance hopper, you can see there 12 laps of Catalunya. So we're in for a fairly long race, around about 20 minutes. So hopefully, going into the first corner, things will pan out a bit nicer than normal. But we're going to have a look at this. Welcome to Exhibit A. This is called a twat. And what a twat does is he doesn't brake for turn 1. Now that is criminal even in a normal length race of about 5-6 minutes, but in a 20-minute race that's even more unforgivable. And look at that, he's just caused absolute anarchy around turn 1 simply by not pressing the brake pedal. It's quite a simple action. I mean, it's just the left trigger, that's all you got to do. And unfortunately a couple of victims there who probably won't be seeing the light of day again. So thankfully, as a result of all that actually up into second place. So I've actually, luckily, managed to escape. And sometimes it is just purely down to luck. I mean, if I was in second place on the grid, I probably would have got wiped out by that guy. Thankfully, he was actually in front of me by the time he was going into the first corner. So, second place, we started the race with over 21 people, so someone just quit there. We're going to see that this is probably going to be a race of attrition. People will probably very quickly just give up once they realise they're way far behind and just have no chance. Quite weirdly, I think there's there's no pit stops. There's no quick stops in this hopper, which I think isn't the right decision. I think there should be maybe just one pit stop. It can help split the strategy because, well, the main thing is that simulation damage is on. So those people that got struck on turn 1 by the Exhibit A twat, well, they're going to creep around for a whole lap now to try and get back to the pit lane. So unfortunately for them, for anyone that gets damage, you're out of the race basically because no one else is going to pit unless they get damage. So coming out of turn number 5, this is lap number 3 now. Slowly managed to reel this guy in, so there's no point in pushing too much. So I was just trying to play it nice and carefully, and then eventually, a lap and a half after, we managed to catch up with the Aston Martin here in the lead. So we've pulled away from third place, going very wide onto the middle straight here at Catalunya Grand Prix circuit. Looking for the end of the tyre on the right hand side, there it is. Down into second gear, clipping that apex very nicely. Almost into the back of him, but we are aware and just trying to back off that slight amount to make sure we don't smash him round that corner. So coming up into the final sector here of Catalunya. A couple of very slow 90-degree corners. The chicane here though, I find is a lot better now compared to what was in Forza 6. These curbs have a lot easier feel to them than they did. I mean, they used to kind of give you just a random reaction. It was almost like opening up a loot crate. You'd kind of open up the loot crate and then you just get a random bounce in that direction or that direction. But thankfully now it kind of just goes over and they're quite easy to ride the curves. But you can see here, got plenty of straight line speed in this BMW down the main straight over the Aston Martin. So up into the lead. Now the tune is actually by myself, so you can search for F4H Super GT. It's the BMW M3 GT2, and it's actually one of my favourite Forza GT cars. I used it in the Nürburgring 50 lap endurance. If you haven't seen that, it's on my channel. So I'm very much used to it after driving it for 7.25 hours in that one race alone. But around Catalunya it seems to be very well balanced, very well poised, and you can see there it had very good straight line speed. So at the end of the race it was a fairly comfortable win, way over 1,000 feet to second place. So once the race got going, once we got away from all the twats, and thankfully not getting involved with them on turn 1, it actually became an okay race. But once I got past that guy on lap number 4, then it was fairly easy. We moved then to the Hockenheimring. This is just the short version, so 15 laps. I think I've noticed in this hopper at least, you do get quite a lot of the short circuits, but with a lot of laps. So you get some things like VIR Patriot, 27 laps, things like that. So it is a very long race, or a lot longer than normal. So we're looking over 20 minutes each time. So through the short section here, we've got a fast left-right chicane coming up. We're just tipping 2 wheels through here. The car just feels really well balanced actually. Very manageable on the throttle as well. So I'm running traction control off. Some cars in this class you kind of want you want it on, or sometimes on some tracks. But I think I'll just prefer to go with it off. It just feels a lot nicer to drive, and it's actually very manageable in this car. So definitely check out the tune if you'd like a good car for this class. Looking at the inside of the Audi, it's going to go very wide through the second to last turn, but it's going to give him a run through the final turn and onto the main straight for the second time now, I guess. Over the line, we start lap number 2 into turn number 1. Looking for that curve on the left hand side. Don't want to take too much of the curve on the inside. Just running wide slightly onto the artificial green stuff, whatever it is. And then through turn number 1, he's got it all wrong, and I just have to back out there because there's nowhere for me to go, and I'm just going to have to resort to keeping second place for now. Now, coming through the fast chicane, the game has obviously decided that that is quite enough because, well, it's just going to totally crash on me. And that was going to, you know, size up to be a very good race, but, well, Forza 7 trolling me once again. We move then from one shit show to another. This is going to be Suzuka. It's the short version, and well, the first corner here, apart from 130R, the 130R kind of goes okay, but then the corner after that, it's like a 100-degree right-hander, and it is pretty much 100% chance of carnage. Pretty much 100%. I don't think I've ever seen a race where nothing happens on this corner here. So as we go in, yeah, there we go. Plenty of punting. Guy comes weighing in the Audi. You'll notice in this race, plenty of Audi noobs. Lots of them. So many of them. They're that guy clearly cutting the corner, and then I'm going to get punted from behind. But okay, we kept going. No worries there. I think I did just have to back out because that Audi come across. But no worries, we are through in 8th place. Let's see what we can do from here. So again, it's a long race, so we can afford to be fairly patient and not force the issue too much. But coming through the hairpin, well, that guy clearly has taken the worst line of all time. And I go down into 14th place. Not very good at all. Not very good at all. So we go to lap number 2. Can we do the hairpin right this time? Take 2. Let's see if we can actually get it right this time. And as we come through, another Audi off the track. The Lamborghini goes very wide. We're getting 2 positions. Corvette is going to just chop across. Have to get on the brakes as we approach Spoon Curve. It's a very tricky curve, this one. Spoon. It's the second apex. It's the one that always gets me. Brake on the shadow. There's a shadow on the right hand side of the track there. That's a good braking point. And it's this apex here, which is really tricky. It's adverse camber. The car doesn't really want to go around there at all. And then the Audi's very slow. Corvette's slow. Looking for a way past, not quite there. So we're going to go 2 abreast down this straight. Never quite what you want going into 130R, but then the Audi actually just backs out. So I'm going to move across to take the racing line. I'm going to go a little bit wide, lose a little bit of time there. Perhaps could have gone for the move, but that, well, actually, we are going to go for the move. We braked really early there, got a little bit deep, trying to rejoin the track and just about manage it. So we are back to square one, back in 8th place where we were, gain the position but then lose it again. So through Degners, can we do anything through here? Not normally a good overtaking place. You're kind of just setting yourself up for a good run into the hairpin, and the Corvette has messed up, so we do have an opportunity here. But he's just going to put his car in the middle of the road and not really give us too much space, but then coming in he actually goes very wide, leaves more than a car width from the inside. So now we're side by side coming out again towards the Spoon Curve. It's a drag race, but I'm on the outside unfortunately, so he's going to have the shortest distance towards the next corner, and there we go, just tucks in ahead. But is he going to brake very early again? Yes, he is, seizing the opportunity straight up the inside. And we're going to do a little bit of a slide and just keep the car in the middle just to block him off. And we have managed to go up into 7th place. So this is then lap number 4, coming into the turn here, the double right-hander. 2 people just drive themselves straight off the track. 2 easy positions, as easy as it gets. So straight up into 5th, and then looking at 4th place on lap number 5. He kind of just gets scared. He sees me on the inside and just turns away. Kind of thinks, okay, sorry, just have the place. You have the place. So I'm up into 4th, looking for 3rd now. 2 laps later on lap 7. He kind of blocks me off, fair enough. He covers the inside line. Very nice defensive work. Now we've got some bag markers here. These guys were an absolute menace. As I said earlier, the Audis were just all over the place. This guy, we've probably lapped him like 4 times already. Guy in 3rd place just gives him a cheeky little nudge to the side. Kind of saying that just get out of the way, you're a bag marker, stop getting in the way of our battle here. And then up the inside he blocks the position. Just run wide slightly, and you see there's a bit of oversteer through this corner. Now this corner, the second part of Spoon, it's kind of just, the car experiences everything. Understeer, oversteer. It just kind of wants to go in and doesn't want to go in. So that's why it's a really, really, really tough corner to get right. So into 130R, looking for that braking point. We are in very nicely. We've got a run here. Actually, he's going to block the inside. So this guy seems fairly defensive. Fair enough. We're going to respect that. He goes a little bit deep. So I'm going to go for a move, a little bit of contact, and then on the exit, we're just going to do that annoying little rubbing thing where the guy on the outside doesn't quite turn. So perhaps one of each, or 6 of one, half a dozen of the other. It was a fairly strong move for me. At the same time, he could have turned away. So perhaps we both lost out really from our own, for both of our stupidity. Oh well, we can continue once again. Now there's a back marker here once again, the 15th place guy. So we saw what happened on lap 1. Well, it's going to be a repeat here. Deja vu. But actually, it's going to be worse. I've got damage here, so I'm going to smash him off. Absolute idiot. And then go for my pit stop. Now this pit stop exit, look at that, that's pretty scary. Going straight onto the racing line of the straight. So that's going to cause some accidents, definitely. This is lap number 14 now. So only 2 laps remaining. I mean 8. I've gone for the lunge. Everyone's braking way too early into there. And then, to be honest, I think I had the space, but he's just going to kind of tip me round. I more than easily had the inside line, and then again, he's just going to tip that guy round. So he obviously has zero awareness of people on his inside line. And at the end, we're going to cross the line as 7th. So, not the best race, but that is Forza. We're going to move to the final race of the video. Circuit of the Americas. Now, the curbs have actually been sorted around here, so it's not too bad. You can actually ride some of the curbs and not have to worry about getting spun to Narnia. So coming up into turn number 1, the very wide entry. Now this guy's just going to get punted like a bloody snooker ball. Ronnie O'Sullivan's probably just laughing at himself right now for punting that guy across the track. Nice stuff. Well, obviously not nice stuff for him, but we're going to move on into the S's, 4 abreast nearly there. Very scary times for the Forza noobs. Who's going to try to avoid the carnage. Oh, 2 guys off to the right hand side, just couldn't resolve their issues, and well, they're going to lose out massively. I'm up into 4th, so I think just keeping yourself clean and just not getting involved in accidents, that is the key to success here really. If you can just avoid all the noobs, it's not really about, I mean, to be honest, my approach on lap 1 is never attack, 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 make up positions. It's just be conservative, wait for other people to crash, and then you'll make up positions that way. And you can see here, up into 3rd place at the end of lap number 1. So not a bad start. We're coming up behind the Super GT car as we come up the main straight towards turn 1. We're looking for the 100-metre mark on the right hand side. There it is, up the inside comfortably. And we're going to take the apex very well. He's going to look for that cutback, but he's not quite going to get the drive. So I'm comfortably and definitely up into 2nd place. Now we are going to hunt down the Viper here. See if we can do that through the S's. The car is so planted and controllable. There's just no hints of oversteer or understeer at all. Really gliding through there very nicely indeed. So this guy is an absolute pleasure to drive, and it really confirms that for me it's one of my favourite cars in this division, and not one I've actually seen being used. I've seen mainly Audis being used and the Chevrolet. Those are the main 2 I've seen being used, but this BMW not really that commonly used. So perhaps that might change. So a bit of a nudge from behind, but we are just going to keep that position. I was kind of waiting for that contact, to be honest, just to make sure that he was definitely behind me and couldn't get back past. So now it's a matter of, well, this guy was fairly quick. I mean, it's taken us 2 laps nearly just to try and reel him in and get back past him, or get past him. So he's definitely got some pace. So I just need to think, sometimes in this situation, I think people, they're quicker than someone, but then as soon as they get ahead, they kind of, their mindset changes to a more defensive one, and then they start lapping slower. You just kind of need to forget about that guy behind you, just keep lapping as you were, and then hopefully you'll start pulling away. And you see they're getting a good drive through the final turn. Start of lap number 5, this is where things are going to begin to unravel. So you can see I'm actually fairly comfortable, but you did see that there were 2 back markers just ahead. This is only lap 5, 6 minutes into the race, and already we're going to come up to lap 2 people. So obviously not good times. Coming up to lap people is probably one of the most dangerous moments in any race on Forza. So So as we're going to come through the chicane, this guy isn't going to go through the chicane. He's going to hit the bloody wall, and I'm going to get damage from that. I mean, fair enough, it was quite a hard hit. But it's just so frustrating when an idiot just can't even see a wall and just goes into it. And then I had no time to react. So unfortunately, we're going to go down into 10th position as we exit the pits. And we're going to catch up very quickly with this Ferrari. Fortunately, I suppose that's the good thing about it being endurance. You can actually catch up. You have time to catch up with people. So it's not going to be game over. We're going to try and catch up, and as actually we have done here, up the inside of the Ferrari through the chicane, up into 7th place. The Ford GT Le Mans here in 6th place up ahead. Let's see if we can do anything about him. He takes pretty much the worst line I've ever seen through there. And then we're going to try and do the outside line. So if he's on the inside, he kind of has to go very, very tight, and I can just take a wider and faster line. That's going to give me the inside line for the next turn. So up into 6th place comfortably. And then on lap number 9, I'm in 6th place. Now, these back markers, I'm not sure what the hell is going on. It's almost like they're being driven by AI really slowly, because they kind of don't deviate from their line and just stay there really slowly. So yeah, I went off the track there, but I was just trying to avoid. I didn't know what the hell that AI was going to do. It might not even be AI, it might just be the player. I'm really not sure what the hell was going on, but it was so weird, because that has happened quite a lot. But anyway, this is lap number 10, so 2.5 laps remaining. 2 Audis going at it. You see they're really fighting very hard. But what that does is it gives me an opportunity to catch up. The more battling you do, the more time you lose, and therefore people will start catching up, or the people in front will get away. So right now, I'm in amongst it, coming through the very long right-hander, the whole 180 degrees of it, into the second to last turn, at the back of the Audi. Look for the inside. He goes very wide, and then on the curb it's going to be a drag race to the final turn. So he's on the outside, and then braking just in time to hit the apex. And he's still there, so he's actually done that very nicely on the outside. You see just how good the drive is on this car without the traction control. Very manageable. So I'm going to get a very good drive, get ahead, and then the Audi's just going to slowly come back towards the braking point. But I've got the inside line, and I'm going to get 3rd place there. So nicely done move. We block the inside, so you can't get back up the inside into this turn. So we're going to consolidate 3rd position there as we go into the S's. Back marker there, not sure what he's doing, just really slow in the racing line. Now this guy coming backwards, that was the guy who was winning in the early stages, so obviously he's had something go wrong, probably got wiped out. Well, we're going to come through to finish 2nd, so not a bad recovery in the end actually. So given that I had to pit and go down to 10th. It wasn't a bad race in the end, so that's the good thing about the endurance hopper. There is actually time to actually do something once you get smashed off by the noobs. But there we go, another video for you guys. I do hope you enjoyed it as always. So of course let me know what your thoughts are on the new hoppers. So we do have an A-class hopper now actually, and the GT Endurance, IndyCar, and another one which escapes my mind right now. But anyway, we will hopefully bring some more coverage of those new hoppers to you very soon. And of course GT Sport's coming out very soon as well. So there'll be videos on that too. I do hope you enjoyed the video guys. Obviously subscribe if you're new and like to see more. And if you did enjoy, hit the like button. That does help me out. And I shall see you next time. Thank you for watching guys, as always. Goodbye.